going back over the game. I know it's been a few days, but, offensively, situational football, into half, into game, really good. I mean, came away with points and left no time for them to respond. The touchdown right before halftime and then the field goal at the end to seal it. Our red zone, we were really good, 3 of 4, and the one we didn't convert was because we were in field goal range for the win at the end. There's things we got to do a little bit better. We turned the ball over. Run game wasn't real good. Our efficiency wasn't good. Didn't have the explosives that we feel like we need to have in any given week. And short yardage wasn't good. Third and fourth and short. Had too many MAs too. So it wasn't real clean offensively. We made the plays we needed to, but there's things that we can clean up. That being said, Tim Patrick obviously played outstanding. That was his best game with us. And so many things he did. Everybody sees the touchdowns, but there was a number of blocks that he made in that game that were huge. So guys playing at a high level. Goff, I thought, was outstanding. Take away the turnover, and, he played lights out, and he was clutch for us. Once again, critical moments just comes through, playing at a high level. It was impressive. Laporta came through, big plays. Skip did a hell of a job, filling in for Deck. Thought that was one of his best games of the season. So defensively, look, we talked about the focus was playing hard and finishing. Man, just lay it on the line, play hard on all 3 levels. We had about, 3-4 new guys just stepped in and a number of guys we were going to rely on. They did that. We got a takeaway, which was crucial. That led to 3 points. Third down, we were 1 of 5. That's outstanding. And we were really sticky in coverage. There's a couple of things that got us in coverage, but overall, our man-to-man coverage was really good, man. We were all over those guys. What we didn't do well, run game efficiency. Gave up too many per carry. Pass efficiency there as well. And red zone, Now got put in a couple of hard spots, the turnover and downs. So that doesn't make it easy on them. But that being said, O'Connor played outstanding game. We asked a lot of him. Most plays he's played, and he was disruptive, and he really played the nose and the big end. So he's got a lot of versatility, and he showed up for us. Zadarius Smith, was highly productive, in the run and pass game, but really showed up in a big way. And then Zeke Turner, he had to play the will linebacker for us for a number of plays. He did well. And then Arnold, I thought that was Arnold's best game of the season. So that was good to see. And then special teams, really, we only had a couple of punts. One of them was 50 yards, and they had a holding call because of Dorsey once again. Dorsey either makes a play or he's going to cause a penalty. So it ends up being a 60-yard net. And then 2 plays later, we get the turnover. So just massive, hell of a punt, hell of a job by Dorsey once again. The guy's, he's a weapon for us on teams. And then our field goal protection unit, those guys had blocked one, Chicago for the game winner. 3 weeks ago, our guys, held in there, and I thought we there's things to clean up, but we protected really well. So that was kind of it in a nutshell. It's a good win for us, and now we're on to the next one.
So the next one, just the task ahead, specifically with Josh Allen and MVP Canada. You look at the game Sunday, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns, just his dual threat and how challenging that is to prepare for, because he's a big physical kind of guy, which is a little bit different.
He is challenging, and I haven't had a chance to truly deep dive them yet, but I do know this: he's taken care of the football. He's taking the plays that are there, and once he progresses, it's not, then he uses his legs. So I feel a more patient player out of him, and because of that, he's playing at a very high level, and that makes him even more dangerous, So it is, he's got a big-time arm. He's accurate. He can read defenses, and then he's got the physical ability to take off and run, and he can run over people. He can run around you. He can get on the perimeter. So this is going to be a huge task for us. This is not going to be easy.
How much healthier do you expect to be coming back this week?
I don't know. I know this. Every one of our guys, it's much more positive. You know, everybody is healing up, and so we're better than we were last week. I don't know yet how many we'll get back, and honestly, I may not know until Thursday of this week. You know, just exactly where we're at. You know, I'm feeling better about Decker, but yet I need to see. You know, and then the D line is in flux. You know, there's a chance Levi could be back. You know, Max got a pass protocol. He's in and everything. He did not take a step back. So as long as he can clear, you know, that sounds positive. But it's just going to take time to figure some of this out.
Kind of longer term, but Aiden, we're about 2 months out from his injury. How much more optimistic are you that he can come back at the end of the season?
Man, honestly, I'm where I was when the injury happened, and that's only just saying Look, this is a tough injury. I mean, it is. But I just would never count him out, just knowing who he is. And he's working. He is progressing. But I can't give you a timeline. And I don't know. I don't know if he'll have the time to get there. But if anybody could, it's him.
Do you have any clarity on any of your IR guys in terms of their ability to return? I know Jalen, I think, is in his window where he could. And then Anzo, Rakestraw, if he or maybe next week, you know, any of those guys are maybe going to be able to return to practice here soon?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have that conversation about Rakestraw and Iffy next week, you know, because that'll be through their 4-week period. You know, Alex, we feel like is on pace towards the end of this season. You know, it could be the last game. It may not be till the playoffs, but we feel good about getting him back. I think Khalif's probably in that boat. You know, probably where Alex is at. And then, you know, Jalen, he's better. Jalen Reeves-Maven is better. But it's just slow going right now. So I don't really know where he could be, or, you know, there is a chance we get him in a few weeks. There's a chance we don't. So it's just kind of, you know, it's just where we're at.
Last week you put it on the offense, you know, understanding where you were with the defense, not knowing how much health you're going to get on the defense side. Is it sustainable, realistic to keep putting it on the offense the way you had to and going for it, just being, you know, going through the offense?
You know, I think every week you got to do what you feel like gives you the best chance to win, you know, and where do you feel your best matchups are at, and where are your best players at, and so, man, I haven't had a chance to just deep dive Buffalo yet and see where they're at. They've traditionally are a very good defense. They fly around. They play sound, disciplined football. They always have. That's how Coach McDermott coaches. And so, you know, we'll just have to see. But we'll do whatever it takes to win the game. I mean, we'll, you know, whatever we need to. Now, that being said, you know, like I said, we put ourselves in some of the situations we were in offensively. There's things we can do so much better, and just clean up a few things. And then defensively, you know, hey, it was, okay, we got some new guys. Just give us everything you got and finish. That's the stipulation. Okay, well, so now we need to take it a step further. Okay, now that we're, you know, you guys are laying it on the line, you're finishing now, we got to start getting a grasp of what we're doing defensively and take the next step into, you know, the detail part of this, and to where we, you know, we don't have a few plays that hurt us. So, you know, look, our defense will, depending on who we have here, we're going to be better than we were last week. I believe that, you know, and whether we don't get anybody back or not, this will be another week in the system with, you know, Adams and Miles Adams and Jonah and Quan, and, you know, and so I know that, you know, they'll be better, but we'll do whatever we have to win the game.
Off the top, Terry, I'm playing maybe his best game. What is it about him turning the corner, just having more experience that he's, you know, starting to?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just, we're getting to that time of the year, and honestly, what happens with a lot of rookies, especially guys you're counting on, unfortunately, some of them start to take a nosedive because, you know, this is where their season begins to dip down. It's over. But then the other ones who hang in there, man, they really start taking flats. What St. Brown did his rookie year, right? He started to take off once we hit November, December. He started to gain strength. Sewell did the same thing. Mac did the same thing. And I feel like that's where Arnold's at. He's starting to push through this, and he's gaining enough valuable reps, experience. He's not letting the grind of the season weigh him down, and he's getting better.
Won again yesterday. You guys are playing in these high-leverage games with your NFC North opponents. I guess, is there a benefit to playing these games against teams that have very few losses? And have you ever really seen anything like this where there's just 3 teams this good in the same division?
It's hard to say. I don't know if maybe not quite like this. I mean, I think is there a benefit? Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a benefit. I mean, I mentioned this last week. I feel like we are in playoff football in a sense. And, you know, I know that we got in, but this is about more than that. You know, we've given ourselves an opportunity postseason, which is great, man. It's all you need. And so we've got that. But man, anytime you play, you know, the best of the best competition, you can't help but get better. And whatever it takes to win those games, you learn how to win those games. You learn a new way to win. Like we had to grind some things out the other day, you know. We had to win that game without our run game really being effective at all for the most part. That's huge. That meant our pass protection had to be on point. Goff was outstanding. The receivers, the tight ends, the backs, you know, protection. I mean, David and Gibbs having to mount up in there. We got a lot of A-gap pressure, and those guys were, you know, that's not an easy way to live if you're the runners. So that serves you well. Like I think so. The competition is great. There again, Green Bay, and then we got Buffalo this week. We got more coming down the wire. So these serve you well, I believe.
Liam went down just because of the workload he normally plays. You had to expand some workloads with some of those other guys. You mentioned Pat's performance off the bat, but Broderick, Miles, and Jonah Williams, I imagine, played a little more than you expected. Did you learn anything take away from the film from those 3 guys?
I thought Miles and Jonah, I thought both had winning performances. You know, I thought for what we asked them to do, I thought they went in there and battled and did their job. It was good to see, and it's exactly why Brad brought those guys in, because we felt like they fit what we're about and what we need. And we just need guys that are lunch pail guys, hard hat, come in and give us a good day's work. Do what we ask you to do and go all out doing it. And just battle, man, just strain. And I thought those guys did it. You know, Broderick was up and down. You know, he'd have a couple that were good, and then he'd have some that weren't so good. So, but that's all part of the growth process, development process. But I was impressed with those 2 new guys we had.
I know you were wanted to be aggressive offensively going into the Green Bay game, but when you saw the running game kind of get stuck a little bit and the lack of explosives, did that make you want to double down more on using all 4 downs at various points through the game?
Yeah, I think that, normally what we feel like we can get out of our run game is explosives, which we didn't really get those. But we were able to grind some of these out, and I felt like our short yardage plan was good. You know, we liked what we had. We liked where we were going with it. So I had a lot of confidence there. And as well as the pass game, if it was a little bit outside of that range to run the ball, it's going to be awfully hard for me to not have confidence in Jared Goff and our receivers, you know, and really the whole offense, that O-line, what Ben's going to call. It's just I have a tremendous amount of faith, and I wouldn't do it if I didn't believe we could get it, you know, and they continue to prove us right, everybody right. He just wanted to know, what are we doing? Like, let's go. Are we going or are we not going? You know, which I'm with him. I mean, I'd want to know. So, all right.
Thank you, Dan.
This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop got me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster along, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh. You probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard top, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, oh, 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 oh.
All right, what up? Welcome up back to Spike Kool-Aid, man, for Monday afternoon. When I saw that Dan Campbell was getting on, I figured I would wait a little bit. Shout out to everybody in the chat. So listen, if you can't DM me on Twitter, I don't know what that's about. I don't know if you have to follow, because so I got the check mark, obviously I rent it, right? So I wanted to test it to see if it actually made a difference, and it does. So if you can't DM me, I don't know what that's about. You can tag me on Twitter, and then maybe I can DM you. I don't know what that's about. So I don't know if you need to have a check mark to DM somebody with a check mark, if I can turn that stuff, because my DMs are open. So I don't know what that is all about. But if you tag me on Twitter, then I should be able to DM you. But I've had a situation where I can't DM you either. So DMs are the quickest way to reach out to me. What's up, Joseph? Great one. What's up, everybody? Lauren is in the building. Braylon, what's up? Jizz, what's going on, man? We got AA Productions. What's up, Matt? Man, we got a lot to talk about today, right? Man. It's a lot of stuff yesterday with the situation with the Buffalo Bills, man, and everybody is you know what I'm wondering is I'm to the point now where I'm kind of sick that, like, I'm tired that nobody's talking about us, but I'm also okay that nobody's talking about us, because they will be. They will be, man. It's all about the Chiefs. It's all about the Bills. It's all about the Eagles. It's all about the Rams. It's all about everybody but the Detroit Lions, right? We're the only one in the league on the 11-game winning streak. We are the ones with the best record, yet nobody is talking about us. I heard some segments today from Rich Eisen, and he is truly getting on my nerve, man. I really do like Rich, but he's annoying me today. Lions Vision says, are we having the show or not? This is the show, bro. This is the show, man. I mean, what's going on, bro? Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed or what? This is part of the show, okay? So it says Spike Kool-Aid, and this is a show. That's what we having. What's up, Fave? What's good with you, AJ? We got Lawrence in the building. What's going on, Kiara? What's going on? Back at it again. Bills week. Yeah. What's up, James? Aaron says, what up, though? Heard rumors we about to get a grip of folks back from injury. Yeah, Dan Campbell went over that today. We'll bring some things in. Number one in power rankings, and everyone just like, nah, screw that. Yeah. What's up, Jay? What's going on, bro? What up? Hate people coming after our coach's decision. Yeah, we'll talk about that as well. What's up, Glenn? What's going on, man? But we got some stuff. How was your weekend? Was it as good as mine? Mine was pretty good. Let me tell you what I did all weekend. Well, after the game Thursday, Friday and Saturday was just all about Packers tears, man. The fallout from the game was insane, and we gotta have a conversation about the Green Bay Packers. For some reason, those videos are doing extremely well right now. Oh, what's up? Coyote says, "What's good, sir? Glad we won on Thursday, and the Bills look very beatable." Yes, they do. Yes, they do. You only got to do one thing. You cannot break discipline. If you contain, Josh Allen is going to scramble, and you cannot break contain. Stay on your guys. If Josh beats us with his legs, fine. Don't let him do what he did to the Rams yesterday. That junk was ridiculous. Every time I turned away from the TV, it was another score. It was insane. Got to get that ring and we'll shut them up. You know what? 85, I still think they'll be talking. Bro. I think the Lions would have to repeat. We'd be like that Super Bowl champion that really shouldn't be, right? I already feel it coming, man. Packers saying they want to beat us in the playoffs. LOL. We stop Josh, we win. What's up, TC? All of that stuff is facts. I've been seeing them cry every single day. It's been crazy. Repeat, please. What's up, Dirty? My weekend went okay, but I'm glad we beat the Cheeseheads. Yeah, me too. All right, let's get into our first segment, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. I don't know how long the show is going to be. It's supposed to be an hour, but then it usually goes over that. We might get to the point during the regular season where this show is every day. Let them hate. It's free advertising. Yeah. All right, so what's up, Nate? What's going on, man? All right, let me see something. So if you want to, let me check my Twitter real quick. If you want to DM me, okay, tag me on a post. Let's see. Make a post, then tag me, and then I will, I'll try to see if I can DM you. All right. Okay. Oh, Derek, got to get me out. Oh, Derek, got to get me on that director outro. Oh, Lauren, I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I got 25 director members, so it's kind of a big deal. I've noticed a lot of sports analysts saying have been trying to poo-poo on the Lions winning. The only one who's been really riding for us is Rex Ryan. Yeah, that's true. We got a segment for that. What's up, Tyrone? So I'm hearing rumors that AG is a huge contender for the Jets job. Hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and pin that message because I'm going to make a video about that. All right. So let's get into the first segment. So I'm not sure what's going on, man. Football is a funny thing. Fandom is even funnier. Like when it comes to being a fan, I'm learning more and more every single year. Now, fan is short for the word fanatic, and you can see why. So the Green Bay Packers have been swept by the Detroit Lions 2 out of the last 3 years. They are 5-1. The Lions, that is, in the last 3 years. And we should have been 6-0. I mean, but we've been talking about Peter Bukowski, and I don't want to pick on a dude. I really don't want to pick on a dude. As a fellow content creator myself, I have been the target of a lot of people's aggression because of my takes. But one thing you cannot call me is bias, and you cannot there's things you can say about me, but there's things that you can't, right? And the Locked On Packers, we talked about him in a video last week. But this goes beyond him. Somebody brought up, I watched his video today because I wanted to see if there were more, complaining about Thursday's game. And I saw that he had a question that they tagged him on Twitter. And the question was, the NFC North, right? The NFC North has been a thing for over 20 years. It used to be the NFC Central. We lost the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But are the Detroit Lions, have they been a rival? Is it really considered to be, are we really rivals of the Green Bay Packers? Now, as far as like hated franchises, I would have to say that for me being a Detroit Lions fan, obviously, this is a 3-way tie for hated franchises. San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Green Bay Packers. If I had to pick one, if I had to put them in order, I would say San Francisco 49ers, Green Bay Packers, Dallas Cowboys. And they've all been won at different points in the season. They've all had the number one spot. But the question was, is there a rivalry? Why are Lions fans so chesty? Is there an actual rivalry? Packer fans have never disliked the Lions. They've never considered us to be their rival, but we've always considered them to be our rival. And I said, Packers fans are ridiculous. They are truly ridiculous. Lord have mercy, trying to record here. Okay. Thank you. So Packers fans are ridiculous. Of course, they're the NFC North, but does it feel like that the Lions have been anyone's rivals? And their thing was, well, we've been at the bottom of the cellar for so long, we can't possibly be anybody's rivals. And so, obviously, I took offense to that, but I said, okay, all right, they got a point. They got a point that we haven't really been competitive for decades. There's been peaks but a lot of valleys. But what is the real reason that Detroit Lions fans cannot stand the Green Bay Packers? I'm going to tell you when it started for me. Put it in the comment section for you. When did your disdain of the Green Bay Packers truly begin? 2 words. And it's not Brett Favre. It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was the reason that my disdain for the Green Bay Packers is at an all-time high. He cries just like your fan base, just like your squad does. He, for me, started the disdain for the Green Bay Packers. Let me tell you why. Because like y'all crying over these missed calls and they still talking about it, the Detroit Lions have been at the bottom. One of the reasons we've been at the bottom of the league is because of the missed calls, because of the calls that are now starting to go our way, but then didn't go our way. Let me take you back 9 years ago to Thursday Night Football, an egregious call, and we've been seeing it a lot in the NFL. The narrative is strong. The narrative is strong this year. You cannot deny that there is an NFL narrative, and the narrative has never favored the Lions. Not only that, your quarterback is just a nightmare. A nightmare. He's got a documentary that's coming out in a few days that looks ridiculous. I'm going to watch it, though, because I want to see it. I want to see it. But it has, in my opinion, for me, it has more to do with your quarterback. Jordan Love, I don't got no problem with Jordan Love. I mean, except he's the Green Bay Packer quarterback. I really didn't have a problem with Brett Favre. Brett Favre was that dude. He was that dude. He came out there, he played, he never talked. He took hits, he got up, he took more. He threw interceptions, he took more. For me, this whole thing started at this level of disdain when Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback. From the moment he was drafted to all the smack talk he was doing, all right? But one thing he's never said is that he owns the Lions. He's never said that. So for me, I just don't understand. I don't understand. As a Packer fan, can you not see the egregious missed calls or no calls? Hands to the face. When Trey Flowers was obviously nowhere near the person's face. And 2 calls in a row. Why did that happen? So that your team could have a walk-off field goal. So for me, as Lions fans, and I think because we've been on the bottom, because we have been part of the Calvin Johnson catch, no catch, because there's been so many precedents set for our team by the way that the officiating has been happening, and then we have to deal with Aaron Rodgers and his crying from the beginning. That is why I cannot stand. And then to the cherry on top is the fan base, the miserable fan base. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Lions fans, here's what's gonna happen. When we win a Super Bowl, now they can no longer say we haven't been to one. They can no longer say we haven't won one. What they're gonna say is now, well, you only got one. And that's gonna keep going, right? Here's what I love about Detroit Lions fans. I think that we are the strongest fans in the entire world. I truly believe that. We have been through everything. 0-16. We have been through watching Calvin Johnson retire, watching Barry Sanders retire, watching Matthew Stafford go win a Super Bowl the first year with another team. And I don't know about you guys, but I remember very specifically the narrative of sitting through Matthew Stafford's championship run and the attention that he was getting and the way that it was affecting my city, my team, right? No other fan base has been through this. It's funny watching Packers fans cry about missed calls, but the smugness of your entire franchise is why nobody likes you. Nobody likes the Green Bay Packers. From the Locked On Packers host to every Packer fan I've ever met, the smugness is at an all-time high. You notice that the team takes after the coach. Matt LaFleur is goofy. He's soft, just like the rest of the franchise and the fan base. And now it's getting turned back. And what y'all can't handle it, can you? You can't handle a little call not going your way. You can't handle that, right? You know how many games we've lost on bad calls? Justin Tucker. I mean, and they're trying to do it to us this year, but they're also giving us some too. So the Detroit Lions, And the Lions fans are the best fan base, the strongest fan base in professional sports, if you ask me. Now, you could say it was the Cubs many, many years ago, but now it's us. It's us. But that, to me, is why there's of course, you got the NFC, the division, but it is the smugness of, and I wonder if Green Bay is like this, if Wisconsin is like this, if the city of if they're truly like this, because their fan base absolutely sucks. It really does. But let me know in the comments, what is your problem with the Green Bay Packers? When did your disdain for this organization begin? You can tell everything. San Francisco 49ers, I didn't really have too big of a problem with them outside of them being in the NFC until I went to see a game at Levi Stadium. Yeah, I can see that. So you know what, Lions fans? I can already tell that we're becoming the Kansas City Chiefs. I can already see it happening. It's going to happen. If a dynasty ensues from the Detroit Lions, we will become like their fan base. It's already going to happen. I've hoped against it. I wished against it. And I hate that it's going to happen because everyone is going to hate us. But you know what? When you're on top, it's kind of what happens. It comes without saying. So you know what? I'm at the point now that I might just embrace it. So let me know your thoughts. When did your disdain for the Green Bay Packers truly begin? Yes, Tom, you know what? Tom Grassi is a cool dude, but I've never met Tom. He's cool, man. And Tom had hold on. I'm looking for my house shoes, bro, because my feet are cold. And Tom's parents had a real good marriage. I don't know that, but Tom seems like a nice guy. Like there's like a smidge of just a sprinkle of, like, when he takes shots, it's in the joking format. But he seems like a good guy, and that's probably why his channel is doing so well. They can't say we haven't been their rivals. When Aaron Rodgers refused to say the Detroit team's name, he said, "You never lose to that team." Yeah, he's a bum, bro. He's a bum. Rodgers, I hate the Green Bay Packers like I hate the Bears. You know what's funny, man, is the Bears are. I can already see, because I'm trying to go to the game in 2 weeks. And I can already see me hating the Bears after I leave that game. I can already see it. But isn't it great to see them fall off an absolute cliff? Like the 2007 Patriots. How do you say Detroit Lions will beat the Bills? Well, Johnny, we talked about it at the very beginning of this show. I really don't want to talk about it that much because we'll be talking about that in Friday's show. But you got to be able to stay on your assignments. If Josh Allen, first of all, you're not going to have a spy on him. That's not going to work, all right? Because even with the spy, he's going to create plays. But the Detroit Lions have to be disciplined. Their second and third levels, they got to be disciplined. They cannot, we know what he's going to do. And I heard something from Dan Campbell, and I don't believe him. We already talked about theatricality and deception. Hold on, let me play the soundbite.
Theatricality and deception. Powerful agents to the uninitiated.
But we are initiated. I think Dan Campbell was, I haven't watched the tape. You haven't watched much film? Oh, man, please. We know somebody somewhere is watching tape on Josh Allen. It ain't no way he ain't watched no tape on Josh Allen. So we got to be able to stay disciplined. Josh is going to get his. We got to make sure everyone else does not. Tom's a good guy, but cheese runs through his blood. Absolutely. My boss is a Packers cheesehead, and we had our quarter G. Bears are now the same old Lions. That is hilarious. I cannot believe that this team has lost 7 straight, and they got blew back yesterday. Man, oh man, I tell you what. But listen, I got some pretty cool news. Did you just hit Tom with the Papa Doc line? Yeah, I mean, yeah. But you know what? You know why? And that's why the line from, like, Eminem's. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. We about to have a, you know what? We're going to do a bonus segment. This going to be fun, y'all. We're going to do something new. All right, this is going to be a new segment to the show. Not necessarily a segment, but we thinking outside the box on this segment. It's probably gonna flop, but it's all good. I like to have fun, and this channel has gained. We are over now 4,200 subscribers, man. Really growing, trying to expand the brand, trying to get new talent to come in and help the brand grow. But I got a question. Over 20 years ago, can you believe we're talking about the 22nd anniversary of 8 Mile, the movie 8 Mile that just passed? And I remember I was 20-something years old, and I remember seeing it for the first time. And so everybody knows the story, Mom Spaghetti, all of that stuff. The soundtrack was a smash. But let's fast forward. Let's fast forward to the end of 8 Mile. If you haven't seen 8 Mile, spoiler alert, okay? I need you to go turn on any show, any TV station, and watch it, all right? If you're still here, I'm about to spoil the whole thing. So at the end of you got the whole B-Rabbit, Papa Doc, right? Papa Doc is the guy, and this has to do with the Detroit Lions. Eminem is from Detroit. We just had a segment about the Green Bay Packers and other fan bases. And what is it that they have on the Detroit Lions? You guys have never been to a Super Bowl. You've never won a Super Bowl. One of 4 teams, we know. So that goes to me with the line of, I know everything you're about to say against me, right? So here's what I wanted to ask. Let's have some fun. New outside the box segment. We got the chat going, and when you watch this in playback, I want you to put in the comment section. You can be honest. This is a safe space. You can go look these up on YouTube, and then you could come back. Okay, I kind of remember, not verbatim, but some things that were said. So Eminem had to battle about 3 rappers before he got to Papa Doc. All right. Now, can we just say that Anthony Mackie's performance at the beginning of the movie was terrible? Like, he is not a rapper at all, right? So I know he had to battle Lotto. That was the dude with the tank top. He had to battle the little the skinny dude that looked like one of the aliens from Men in Black. And then I believe there was a third guy as well. I think there was, okay? So we get to Papa Doc. Now, here's the question that I have. And this all came from talking about the Detroit Lions. Do you legitimately think that Eminem should have won the battles? Do you think he should have won the first battle, the second battle, and the third battle? And do you think that, well, Papa Doc didn't go, so he won that battle. But do you think that Lickety Split, that was his name. Thank you, Tavion. So he had, I think it was Lickety Split. No, Lickety Split was the dude that looked like an alien, right? So it was Lickety Split. It was Lotto, and I think it was one more before Papa Doc, right? It was 3 of them. So he battled 2 before Papa Doc. Okay, so the first one was Lickety Split, right? That was the boom, boom, dum, dum, dum. That was that one, right? And then it was the one with Lotto, tank top, screaming, Lotto, I don't fit you. Okay, so I remember watching the movie, and I'm saying, based on the 2 raps, did Eminem actually win the battle? Like, really? Papa Doc, I think Papa Doc, okay, he didn't go, so he had to have won. But the reason that this is even a segment is because of what I said earlier. Is Detroit, we've been dealing with a lot of Green Bay hate, a lot of Green Bay Packer hate over the last couple of days. And what I've been seeing collectively is now fan bases, Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, outside of the NFC, outside of the NFC North, outside of just the entire NFL, they're starting to hate us. They're starting to hate us. And what they're saying is it's throwing what we haven't done back in our face. And one of the things that I love, and I think it's fitting that Eminem did 8 Mile, and he said, I know everything you're about to say against me. So he threw everything back in the face of Papa Doc, a.k.a. Clarence, right? Clarence he was so bad, he had nothing to say, because that's how battle rap works, right? So I'm thinking, but I've been asking this question the whole time. So which rapper do you think that he could have, and I think one of the rappers passed away. I think it might have, was it Lotto? It could have been one of the guys he battled that passed away. But do you think that Eminem actually won the battles to get to Papa Doc? It was the I don't know, to Leave It to Beaver, you know what I'm saying? Like, that line was tough. I think I don't know, man. I asked myself, were we being biased watching 8 Mile? Should Eminem have actually won the 2 battles to even get to Pap? So it was Lotto. It was Lotto. So let me know. Let me know your thoughts. Did Eminem actually deserve to battle Papa Doc? And if you like these type of segments and watch it, let me know. Give it a thumbs up, and we'll bring more like a pop culture stuff into Syndicate Sports Detroit. What's up, sports? What's good with you, bro? The one with Lotto was a tie to me, but he definitely won the other two. Okay, because Lickety Split was the one. Okay, Lotto's the one where he was like, he walked back to cross 8 Mile, right? Yeah, I think that one was tough. That one was tough, though. I just finished my finals this week. Oh, that's what's up, man. Congratulations. It says, yeah, Bears gave up yesterday. I think they have thrown in the towel on this season. Yeah, they're terrible. They're terrible. They're laughably bad. Absolutely, man. All right, so let me see. Okay. All right, so Dan Campbell mentioned today about the guys that could be coming back from injury. He talked about Pascal and Levi and how Aleem McNeil is in protocol, but if he hasn't regressed, so he should be good come the game against the Bills, and we're going to need him. He's going to help collapse that inside pocket so that we can. And we also were down DJ Reader, and the Lions played very well considering. I noticed that he wasn't too high on Broderick Martin. I'm beginning to think that Broderick, he might be a wash. He really might. He got a good year before we really know, but I think that Broderick Martin, it might be safe to say that he was definitely a reach, but he might have been a mistake. He might have been, but we got time. Dan Campbell did say that that's part of growth, and we've seen if he come alive year 3, you know what I'm saying? This year he's been hurt, but Broderick, man, I think the fact that this guy was traded, we traded up to get him, is the part that haunts him and haunts Brad Holmes and such. But he got time to turn it around. But there's a guy, man, who really stepped up and did his thing for the Detroit Lions on Thursday. I was there, and the funny thing is, like, when players come out, you had Kirby Joseph, and you see him on the thumbnail, but you had Kirby Joseph. Y'all couldn't see this on TV. He came out and he had the Forget the Packers shirt. He came out the tunnel with the Forget the Packers shirt. There was some bad blood there between him and the Green Bay Packers. Really, what's his name? Tucker Kraft. Those two guys, they didn't like each other. They don't like each other. And I think a true rivalry is starting to start between the Green Bay Packers and Detroit Lions. A lot of people yapping at the mouth before they play us. Then you have Terrion Arnold doing the flip. And I'm like, well, I thought we weren't supposed to do that. But here comes a guy, Pat O'Connor, a 7th round pick in 2017, came out of Eastern Michigan, 6'4", 300 pounds. He had never been introduced through the tunnel. And when he ran out, it was just the most RoboCop thing ever. We gave him a really, really nice kind of ovation, and he just ran out. He was so focused. He was like, I'm running out, like Pat O'Connor, man. But he came and did his thing. Now, this guy was drafted. He was drafted in the 7th round by, guess who? Us. We took this guy. But apparently, he never made our team because he didn't see his first NFL action till 2019. Check this out. According to ESPN, the Detroit Lions drafted Pat O'Connor in 2017. That was a Jim Caldwell era. That was the last draft of Jim Caldwell. Did not play. He did not play any meaningful snaps the first 2 years of his career. Then he spent the next 5 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Came back to Detroit. Now, I thought he was on our team before, not 2017, but before that. Came in, has played in 8 games, and has had 1 sack. He's only got 2.5 sacks his career. But O'Connor is a guy that he's kind of like the epitome of what the Detroit Lions embody. And we talked about this prior to the season beginning. Is grit going to be enough to win the Super Bowl? Now, let me know in the comments below, because I don't mind being wrong. I don't mind taking an L. But do you think, because my thought was this, we're going to need some talent on this team. So if for grit to be enough to win the Super Bowl, like Pat O'Connor and the guys that we're signing off the practice squad and off the street, is that going to be enough? So for me, that was thrown out the window when we traded for Zadarius Smith. That's how I feel. So I don't think grit was enough. I think you have to have a certain level of talent in order to win a Super Bowl. And I think that Zadarius Smith, with the loss of Hutch, is that guy, right? So my point was not bringing in somebody who can be a B to Hutch's A, right? A yin to his yang, a Batman or Robin to his Batman. And I think that Zadarius Smith could be just that. So I'm going to say that grit is still on, but if there was any team that could do it, it's the Detroit Lions. And O'Connor is a guy, and again, you got to see it. If you haven't seen him run out of the tunnel, it was just Zadarius comes out, hype. Kirby used to flip. Now he came out. Now Terrion's flipping. Hutch comes out hyping up the crowd. Everybody has what they do. He was I wish I had the video, man. He was just so intense that he just couldn't even remember to run, to do anything. He just ran out there and was so focused on coming out the tunnel because it had never happened before. But Pat O'Connor and Dan Campbell just spoke very highly of him and his production over the game against the Green Bay Packers. So let me know your thoughts on Pat. It's good to have these guys, man, these guys that are playing for something. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that he gets to see a championship this year with the Detroit Lions. Let me see what y'all are saying. O'Connor played really, really well. You know what's funny? That Dan Campbell did not mention John Kaminsky. He did not mention John, man, and I'm starting to get a little nervous. What y'all think of John Kaminsky? You think he's coming back or what? Okay, Lauren says we need 3 more wins to grab the 1 seed. Man, first of all, what's going on with Kirko? What's happening with Kirko? Just what are you doing, brother? Like, come on, dog. Are you trying to? I mean, this was supposed to be a revenge game for you, and you laid an absolute egg. Like, you didn't do nothing. Just watch O'Connor's interest, bro, was like, yes, this is my job. Bro, didn't he, though? Didn't he? I wish I would have had I thought I bookmarked it, man. But that dude was intense. He was intense, man. It's crazy. Is he the one that ran out just after Jack Campbell? He might have been. Yep, no Barnes. Those Atlanta DBs were garbage. Oh, my God. Did y'all see my man fall? You're talking about the NFL, a scripted moment. I forgot the dude's name, but we're sitting there watching this game, and I'm just like, why are you in the NFL? Why are you, after you played like that, why are you in the NFL? It really does grind my gears, man, that everybody's talking about everyone but us. It really does annoy me. Cousins is trash. It's going to look like Penix time. So I've been reading Shift that they're not going to start him because the Morris already said Kirk is the starter. I think it would be dumb because you have the season's not over, right? I truly believe that Kirk gives you your best chance to win. 20 should have been benched. He was terrible. Somebody said it was like when you accidentally dive in Madden. He turned around and then just dove on the ground. I was like, you know what I think happened? I think he didn't want to be. I think he was embarrassed that he got beat so bad. And then if you look at it, so Justin was on like to his left. This guy is 5, 6, 7 yards to the right looking over. When he saw that the ball was nowhere near him, I think he did dive. I think he took a dive, man, to make it seem less bad than it really was. No, it wasn't Jesse Bates or Simmons. It was number 20 for them. Man, Leggett. Oh my God. Yesterday was a tough day. It was a tough day, but we can go over that. We can go over that if we absolutely need to. So, but I gotta talking about this. All right, so I've been watching a lot of shows, man. A lot of shows. I'm a avid watcher of the Rich Eisen show, which is crazy. I've never watched it on Roku. I've always seen the snippets from YouTube, but I want to actually watch a live, start to finish Rich Eisen show. And one of the things that I've been seeing is, and we discussed it earlier in this show, that there are a lot of people talking about every team but the Detroit Lions, but we're used to that. That's what we've been. It's been, even when we play good, it's never enough. And I think that that's going to be something that keeps the team humble, keeps them focused, keeps them, sharp, knowing what they have to do. I think as fans, we think that they're going to get a big head. These guys, no, that's us. We're the ones they're going to come out and play the game. But I've been seeing a lot that, you don't want to see this team. You don't want to see that team. I heard today that the Detroit Lions don't want to see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm saying, well, wait a minute. Okay. The Buccaneers they're 1-2 against us. We beat them in the playoffs. We beat them at their house, and they beat us when our offense was trying to get off the ground, right? You play us now, even with a healthy Godwin, Bucky, and Evans, we win. We win that game. We were trying to figure out what was happening on offense, and I think it was because we didn't have the Josh Reynolds replacement. Tim Patrick, he wasn't even I don't think he was on the active roster that game. So we win that game now. But there's a team, you see them on the thumbnail, that everybody's talking about we don't want to play. It was the same team that put up 40-something points on the Buffalo Bills yesterday, and that is the L.A. Rams. You have no idea how sick to death I am of hearing about Matthew Stafford. It's, okay, the Lions are 2-1 against Stafford. Stafford beat us when we was at our lowest point. In 2021, we had 0 wins. 0 wins. We were 0-5, 0-6 playing them. He has not beat. It was a knock on him when he was here. He can't beat a good team. Now, he did that yesterday. He sure did that yesterday. He had Puka going off. He had Cup showing, the fountain of youth. He had Kyron doing his thing. So he had a team around him. Yesterday was a good win for Matthew Stafford. But I want to ask you, as a Lions fan or a Rams fan or any fan that comes across this video, are you nervous? Are we back on this Stafford thing that we don't want to see? We don't want to see Matthew Stafford. I mean, Rich Eisen said it. It's hard to beat the team 3 times in a calendar year. Rich Eisen is saying we don't want to see the Rams. We don't want to see the Buccaneers. I disagree. Let Stafford come back in here with a healthy Puka, healthy Cooper Kupp, healthy Kyron. Let us play him. Healthy Tyler Higbee. Hopefully he's back by then. I am tired and sick and both of hearing about Matthew Stafford and the fact that the Rams are just, we play the Bills. We played the Bills this week, all right? And this game is huge. It's huge for a number of reasons because Josh Allen right now, after yesterday's performance, you had 6 total touchdowns. He threw for 3. He ran for another 3. Now, I think you got to put him in as the front runner for MVP. It's going to come down between Saquon and Josh Allen. Or Nick Wright will tell you that Goff's going to win MVP. But my thing is, we can hang with the best of them. We've beat Stafford twice, okay, both times at Ford Field. And when we've had a good team, because we didn't have a good team in 2021, okay? He also didn't have Puka Nacua in 2021. But what is it with this Rams, this fear that people are starting to have? They're scared of the Bills. You're scared of the Packers. You're scared. You have no idea how many times I've heard that somebody is scared of our opponents. I'm not scared of the Eagles. I'm not. All of these teams can be beat. All of these teams, we can be beat. We can be beat. So I have no fear about Matthew Stafford, all right? The only thing I will say is this. If Stafford, or if we lose, it doesn't have to be Stafford. If we lose to any team this year prior to a Super Bowl appearance, it will be a massive letdown. If we lost to a Matthew Stafford at home, it would be even a worse letdown. So here's what they're saying, all right? Let me bring in this real quick because I want y'all to see it. So here's the current NFC playoff picture. The Eagles clinched yesterday, so they are guaranteed to make the playoffs. Right now, they are well within the number 1 seed. We slip up 1 loss, depending on who it is, they get the number 1 seed. So now we're dropping down to the next 5 spots. These spots are open. The Rams yesterday, the win was big. The Lions will be the 1st, 2nd, or 5th seed. It's going to be one of the 2. They will not be anything else than that. 1st, 2nd, or 5th. Then you have the Washington Commanders that no matter what happened yesterday in week They could not move. They didn't go up. They didn't get down. It was impossible for them to lose the 7th spot yesterday. Then you got the LA Rams. So here's what the argument or the concern for people like Rich Eisen is, that the LA Rams somehow sneak in, and I got to give it to them. They went from dead. They were dead both years in a row. They started 0-2, and are within a game of the, as a matter of fact, they're tied with the second place team in the NFC West. All right. So now you have the LA Rams that will probably slide in. The Rams are trying, they could be the 7th. They're probably not going to be the 6th unless Green Bay falls off a cliff, but they could win the division. They still could win the division. All right. So if they slide in as the 7th seed, okay, and they upset the Philadelphia Eagles, or we drop to the 7th seed or the 2nd seed, then they play us in the wild card round. If they upset the Eagles, who are the 2nd seed, they play us in the divisional round. Oh boy. You can already see the narrative. Now, I think that the Lions have already squashed the narrative of the Matthew Stafford narrative. But I will say this. I said last year on Lions Syndicate that there might be one more Stafford narrative in play. And this could be it. I would not be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if Stafford and the LA Rams make the NFC title game, and that game is at Ford Field, and he is standing between us and our first ever Super Bowl. I'm not kidding. This is on record. It is receipted, and I have said this numerous times. I could see that happening. The Stafford arc will be over after this year. It will end. Him and the Detroit Lions, all that stuff, because it will be over this year. But you could see it a mile away. This year, not so much. It's a lot that has to happen. I mean, the Rams could be the 3rd seed. They could be the 3rd seed right now. They could be the 3rd seed. And if they're the 3rd seed, they wouldn't play us till the NFC title game. So I'm not afraid of Matthew Stafford. I think that we've conquered the narrative already, but I can see a narrative where Matthew Stafford comes to Ford Field in the NFC Championship game, and he is standing between the Detroit Lions, his old team, their new quarterback, in the building that he used to play at before we get to our first ever Super Bowl. And I'm going to tell you what, losing to Matthew Stafford, hypothetically in that game, would be worse than anything that could have happened. It would be worse than losing in a walk-off field goal after being up 40 points. Like, I'm not even lying. It would be worse than being the San Diego or LA Chargers being up 30 some odd points to a guy who threw 4 interceptions and still lost the game. That's how bad that would be. I don't think that would happen, but that's how bad it would be. So let me know. Is there any team that I'm not afraid of any team. I'm not afraid because my team ain't afraid of any team. And I've seen that we can beat anybody. Jalen Hurts had 108 passing yards in week 14. His receivers, A.J. Brown, was complaining, and they won the game, and he was complaining. I'm not worried about any team. This team has shown me that these guys can beat anybody. So let me know. Are you scared of is Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams? Because y'all was terrified of them last year. Y'all was absolutely terrified. Some of y'all said we were going to lose that game, and we didn't. So let me know. Trade was a win-win. What's up, TJ? We need Dan Miller narrating that. Rams got a ring. Lions got best season in team's history. Okay, so let me ask y'all this. Do you feel like the Lions, do you feel like the trade was a win-win? Do you feel like the trade was a win-win? Brian Branch dislocates shoulder. I saw A.J. Brown voice to reporters his disappointment with their passing game. He was complaining the Philly offense doesn't pass enough. They right. He right. They also winning. But he right. He's right. Okay, Aaron says yes. Hold on, Aaron. Let me ask them. What was the question? I forgot what the question was. It has something to do with Stafford. It has something to do with Stafford. What was the question, bro? It says, it's a win-win. It was a win-win. Okay. So I'm gonna have a hot take. A hot take. All right. So you know what? I'm gonna do another segment. It's gonna be a hot take segment. But this time I want y'all to comment on it. So we just talked about Matthew Stafford. This is kind of a continuation on it. Y'all gonna see it on a different day. But I'm asking the chat, was the Lions Rams trade, Stafford Goff, 2 first round picks, Goff and the 3rd round pick, was it a win-win for both teams? Okay, so it depends on, the chat is saying yes, and I wish I could put a poll. I really wish, man. YouTube, you need to let moderators put polls up. Was it a win-win trade? So most of the chat is saying absolutely. It was a huge win. Josh Ayers in every way possible. Okay. I think got another hot take is Packers. Okay. Rams only got 1 Super Bowl out of Stafford. Okay. So B says yes. So a loss for them. Okay. So you guys are saying, so when I say win-win, okay, this is what I mean. My version of a win-win is that it was equal across the board. It was equal across the board, right? You won. So my version is not 49-51. It's not 60-40, 70-30. It's 50%. It was 50% great for the Rams, like the same amount. So I got a win-win. Okay, so let's argue. Let's argue what the win-win was. The win for the Rams, obviously, they won the Super Bowl. The win for the Detroit Lions is what? So here's my hot take. I'm going to say, because the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl, I think the Rams got the better of the trade. I do. However, if the Lions win the Super Bowl, it is hands down, the Lions won the trade. See, for me, the ultimate goal is to win a championship. It is not to have the best record in history. It is not to have a record-setting season. It is about to win the Super Bowl. So, was it a win-win? I guess it depends on how you look at it. I look at it as it was good for both teams. A win to me is winning it all. See, there's no in-between for me. It is winning a championship. There's nothing else. There's nothing in between. It is winning a championship. So the reason that I feel the Rams felt that they were going all in to win a championship. Their name is in the history books. Right now, the Lions' name is not, right? So for me, was it a great trade? Yes. Is it paying dividends? It is. Can I say that the Lions won? That I can't say. I have to say the Rams won the trade right now, simply because they got what everybody wants. So for me, I can't say that the Lions won the trade, although they did benefit tremendously. But once they win a Super Bowl, to me, it's not even a thing. We got the better players. We got the better record since then. We got longevity. So I think that, but because everyone is chasing the same thing, I can't say right now is a win-win. I really can't. That's just the way that I feel. And I know the chat feels differently, and you probably will feel differently on playback. I need it all. I need it all because I cannot have my former quarterback in the history books, and we're not. I can't, and I can't say that we won, that it's a win-win, because the ultimate goal is to win a Super Bowl. That's why they gave up all that stuff for him, right? So is it shaping up to be that the Lions get the, and I guess you could look at it as a win-win if that's what you want to do. I can't, it got us Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams. Yes, it was great, but they won it all. We still one of the 4 teams to never have been to the Super Bowl. We still are the only team, the first team to win no games in a 16-game season. Those are 2 records that I want. One we will never, ever undo, ever. And just think about this. Matthew Stafford was not part of that team. He wound up here as a result of the 0-16 season. Calvin Johnson was a part of that team. So for me, I can't call it a win-win. winning games. And because guess what? If you get into the playoffs and you win and at 9-7, 9-8, and you win it all, that's all I care about. That is all I care about. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, those are just my thoughts. When you win a Super Bowl, there is no greater feeling as a team than that. The only greater feeling I could say, probably as an individual player, is to make the Hall of Fame. First ballot is probably unlike anything else. Barry Sanders. We got 2 first ball. Ain't it kind of crazy that our 2 first ballot Hall of Famers never won a Super Bowl? But the one, Matthew Stafford, right now will probably go to the Hall of Fame for every quarterback. He got the Super Bowl. He got every record as a Detroit. Well, not every, because I think golf is now catching up, doing some things. But he's probably not going to be a first ballot. But he's got a Super Bowl, right? So those are just my thoughts. I can't call it a win-win until we win everything. That's just how I feel. There is no gray for me. It's winning everything. It's either everything or nothing, man. All of this stuff is great. But because just think about this. Think about what I'm about to say. If the Lions do not win a Super Bowl this year, it will be probably one of the biggest letdowns in recent memory for our team, right? But Matthew Stafford already got one. So I can't yet call it a win-win, but maybe in February I will. What's up, Trent? Rams have, okay, I don't know what that is saying. Let me see. What's up, Dylan? What's going on, bro? No. This is your opinion. That was just my opinion. So if your opinion says that it was a win-win, because people have different standards. People have different things that they look at. Like, I know that trade got us Jahmyr Gibbs. It got us Jared Goff. It got us Jameson Williams. It didn't get us Hutch because Hutch was our own pick, right? So it depends. The way that I look at things, y'all, and if you haven't noticed this by now, I am even my wife now, right? So my wife, like, my personality is black and white. There's no gray. There's no gray in my personality. It's like the Lions for me, okay, this season is great. Think about this. As a matter of fact, let's do this. Let's talk about this. So you guys, if you've watched me for any amount of time, as I've been, Lions Syndicate and my other channels and stuff like that, you know that I've come a long way as a Lions fan since Matt Patricia. I really have. Never, ever would I have season tickets. Never wanted them. Now I'm on a wait list. I actually got an email. Check this out. I got an email today, which is Monday, the 9th of December, giving me early access to the wild card game. Now, I am not going to buy those tickets because I'm like, yo, we not about to play a wild card game, but I'm assuming that division title going to roll around, that division game, and then I'm going to have to buy them then. Now, I don't think they were discounted that much, but I felt really kind of cool. I was like, wow. So they've earned my season tickets. But I wanted to ask you guys this. Last year, in 2023, we make it to the NFC title game for the first time in 30 years. There were so many firsts. We won this. We did that. We won the NFC North. We tied our best winning record, like our most wins. All the Lions need is one more win out of 4 games, and they literally will have the best season of all time for the Detroit Lions, right? Right now, we're in the first seed. Lions have never had a first seed in the Super Bowl era. We've never had it. We've had a second seed. We've never had a first. And we've had Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, Matthew Stafford. We've had good players on our team, right? So now let's go to the end of the season. Y'all know how I was, man. I was devastated. It took me about 6 months. It took me until training camp to let the NFC title game go. It took me, as of right now, December 9th, I have not watched the last episode of Receiver. I stopped at episode 7 or whatever episode my face appeared in at the very end of it. I just could not bring myself to watch the NFC title game, the behind the scenes. I was doing a reaction video and I watched it for the first time. I watched the highlights for the first time. So the question is this: how would you feel if the Detroit Lions don't complete the mission? Now, for me, the mission is winning the Super Bowl, right? But I will be devastated and satisfied at the same time if they make the Super Bowl. I want the Lions to win their first one because I couldn't imagine what us as a fan base, what we've been through for 90 years and the 60 of the Super Bowl, right? I can't imagine how I would feel losing a Super Bowl, right? Not having won one. Now, once we win one, it's like, okay, we got that one. We are out of the history book. So for you, what would be, like, for me, for us to make the Super Bowl, I will be satisfied enough. I will be satisfied enough. I still want us to win it, but I would say, okay, we didn't regress this season. But the type of season that we're having, my question for you is, what do you expect? Do you expect the Lions to win a Super Bowl this season? And if they do anything less, how are you going to feel? You can be honest. How am I going to feel? I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be devastated. I might be angry a little bit depending on how we lost. Was it Jared Goff? Was it a lack of a pass rush? Was it, I don't know. Was it Kendall Vildor, who's still on our team? I don't know, right? But I also would have hope. I would have excitement for the future. But I don't know if it's just me and how I feel like tomorrow's not promised, and winning a Super Bowl would be something, would be history. You and I would have got to see something that maybe our grandparents didn't see. You know what I mean? I do believe that that's going to happen this generation. I think that it's going to happen before I turn 50. I just turned 49. I'm sorry, 45. Hold on, back it up, Derek. 45. And I think it's going to happen this year. The Lions, I think, are going to win a Super Bowl this year. Home field advantage to me is the key. So for me, I would be devastated if we make a Super Bowl and lose, but I would be more devastated if we don't get there. Because getting to the Super Bowl, you know what? You can take out the giant eraser, the virtual eraser, the history book eraser, and you can cross out never appeared in a Super Bowl. Because guess what? It's 12 teams who's never won, but it's 4 that's never been. It's 1 original team that's never been. It's 1 NFC team that's never been. Once we make it, now we reset. Now there's a whole different set of, okay, now they got there. You know who's never won? Bengals, Minnesota Vikings. They've never won a Super Bowl. So, and then you think about these teams that have multiple. Pittsburgh Steelers, 6. Dallas Cowboys, I think they got 5, right? San Francisco 49ers, 5, 6, somewhere around there. And we haven't even been. So for me, anything less than a Super Bowl appearance, I would be absolutely devastated. Which one would you be more devastated? Lions make the Super Bowl and lose, or they don't make it at all? They get eliminated in the wild card. How would you feel? That's a tough one. That's a tough one. That's up for you to decide. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? I'll pick. Oof. Which one would be more devastating? I'm going to say to not make the Super Bowl this year. That would be more devastating than losing. Because for me, I'm a guy of progression, right? And if they make the Super Bowl, that is progression. It's further than last year. I don't think it would be a waste of a season. Anything less than a Super Bowl appearance, to me, is a waste of a season. Because I assure you that all of these players would sacrifice any individual accolade for a team Super Bowl. I promise you that. So let me know, man. It's hard-hitting, tough questions today. All right, let's see. 49ers had to win last year because they might not go to the bowl for 20 years. Putting the final nail in the coffin on SOLs. You know what's crazy, man, is last year there was a lot of SOL. This year, I haven't heard it. Have you guys heard SOL? I think early in the season, somebody might have mentioned SOL, bro, but I have not heard it this year. That's crazy. Like, is SOL dead? I think it might be. Okay, bipolar. First of all, let me be very clear. So, because this is your one chance. Are you talking to me? And if you're not talking to me, who are you talking to? And the third question is, why are you being so aggressive? Why are you being so aggressive? Let's give bipolar, because I got no problem hitting the block button, bro. Bipolar Hutch may have just be ready to come back. If we are going to see Stafford again, I'm fine with sending that dude home crying again. What dude? Oh, Stafford? Hypothetically, wait, hyperbolic. What is that? Hyperbolic chamber is, hyperbolic chamber is probably what Hutch has been in. Harpazzo, I think he said it. I think Jay Glazer said it the other day. All right, so I wanted to bring this in, and we saw this. Let me delete this and delete. Where is it here? I'm trying to give him time to respond. Hey, I see what you did there, Fave. I think that with a 12-1 record, that SOL, but that's what I'm saying. Like, one of the things about SOL is quickly going back to it, right? So like SOL it was easy last year to fall back into it. But this year, I don't hear it. I don't hear it at all. People are always testing my boy. Hey, they don't know. But he comments on the channel. But I'm just like, yo, if he calling me a fool, I'm just asking. I'm asking. Do you think the Lions could beat the Bills since they lost to the Rams, Derek? Yeah, I do, Trent. I think it's any given Sunday. All right, so let's do this. This will be our last segment of the day. I just think it's cool that we haven't heard it. Like last year, you had to really kind of press it down. I've never once felt SOL this season, like at all. Let me write that down because I want to talk about that on Wednesday's show. Well, I don't judge somebody by their handle. I don't judge somebody by their handle. SOL. Dead. But this channel has been doing very well. We can't get out of wild card because we're going to be the number 1 seed. We can beat any team. Yeah, I agree. We haven't lost since week 2. There's no need for SOL to be brought up. That's true. That is true. But even when we win, like we were winning last year, SOL was still a thing. You know what I mean? Like SOL. So, but anyway, I want to get you guys' opinion and try to, I will look down at the comment section for this so that I can engage in some dialogue with you guys. The reason I don't look down is y'all be all over the place, and I need these to be cohesive segments for the videos, right? So we're going to talk about Hutch and try to keep your comments on Aiden Hutchinson so I can bring them in, all right? I want to have what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a segment where, and don't do this, like I'm not saying it for you to do that, but where a question is asked and I'll highlight it and bring it up on screen. And this software can do that. I just never set it up. And then obviously if you super chat with the question, we'll turn that into a video, right? So don't do that. I'm just saying if you do, that'll become a thing. And I'll bring that same kind of graphical package in for that. But I want this one to be one of our, because we don't have this whole purpose of this channel is to talk about more than the Detroit Lions, but we don't have the talent right now. I am working with a Pistons guy to hopefully bring him in whenever I get the time to do his contract, do his channel, that type of thing. But the purpose of this channel is interaction. That's like the whole purpose of this channel. I think about Woodward. They're on live all day, right? We were supposed to be Woodward before Woodward was Woodward. I tried to say that 3 times fast. Anyway, so this is going to be about Hutch and his return, and I want to get you guys' opinion on it. Let me find the we got so much. I got so much stuff, so many things bookmarked as well. We'll have to bring in some things on Wednesday's show. So where are we at? Okay, here we go. This one right here. All right. So this segment, we still haven't talked about Jameson Williams and that stuff, man. We got a lot. It's a lot to do. I see how you can run all day. I mean, technically I could be on tomorrow, but I'm a one-man show right now. So eventually we might be on every day but for like an hour, man, every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like a co-host and stuff like that, which could happen. It's just amazing to me. It really is. It's very humbling that I am one guy on y'all see my face everywhere, but y'all show up. You still watch. You either see my face or you hear my voice and you still watch. Like I said, we hit 4,000 subscribers on this channel. I got 3,000 subscribers more, and I will be bigger than another channel that is on my hit list right now. 7,000 subscribers more, I will be bigger than another channel that's on my hit list right now. I'm being very, very vague because I don't want to start any drama, right? But I am a basically a petty driven individual. I really am, man. So anyway, but I'm sure y'all know that by now. I'm nice, but I'm petty. I wasn't always petty. I think I probably got more petty after getting on YouTube, because YouTube is a real petty place, man. Anyway, let's have a segment. So we saw yesterday that the Detroit Lions, Jay Glazer, and we saw multiple outlets saying that Aiden Hutchinson could be back sooner than we expected. This is coming from Ari Mirov, and this is from Sunday the 8th. So you guys have heard this by now, but if you haven't, the Lions are holding out hope that Aiden Hutchinson could return as soon as the NFC Championship game, should Detroit make it that far. And that came from Jay Glazer on the Fox pregame show. Hutchinson has been doing underwater running as part of his rehab, showing promising progress toward recovery. Now, the first thing we heard initially is that he was done for the season. Done. He was out. It was a season-ending injury. Then a few days, maybe a week later, we're like, Hutch could be back for the Super Bowl. That was the thing for if the Lions make it to the Super Bowl, Aiden Hutchinson, there's a chance he could be back. Now, according to Jay Glazer, it's been 62 days. No, it's been 57 since the injury. There are 48 days to the NFC title game and 62 to the Super Bowl. That was yesterday. Now reduce those by 1. A, do you expect Hutch to be back? Based on the things that you have seen. We've seen him walking unassisted. We've seen the videos of him training. We've seen those things. B, would you want him to return? Those are the two questions I want you to ask yourself. So would you want Aiden Hutchinson to return under any circumstance? So D-Mac says yes, but limited. Okay, so I have a feeling that he'll be maybe 10 snaps. 10 snaps. That's all I see from Hutch if he comes back for the Super Bowl. If he can make it to the NFC title game, we might be able to see 20 snaps by the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? I hope and pray. Yes, by the time the NFC game, especially if we play the Eagles. But Tribe says, I'd rather him not. We've been winning and can still win it all without him. This might be the best comment of all time. Maybe one snap just for the fans. That is fantastic. But you know what, bro? I could only imagine that. Could you imagine? Let me set the stage. NFC title game. Let's to make it more fun. NFC title game against Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. The defense is introduced, and you hear in his third year out of Michigan, coming out of the tunnel. I would strongly suggest you cover your ears. Think about what that would do for the city, for the fans, and most importantly, his team, right? So I'm not worried about him coming back if he could. Shift God says that he does. He does. But I agree he will be limited. Yeah. X says if he's cleared, I want him to be on the field, obviously passing downs, then end up his reps in the Super Bowl. 100%. Hutch is probably going nuts wanting to play right now. I want to see Hutch down on the field, at least pumping everyone up. Well, you know what? So here's what I'm thinking. When we see Hutch on the sideline, I think that's when we really are going to start talking about his return. I do think it's a long shot. I'm not going to say his season is over, because he doesn't believe it's over. So, and the doctors think he can come back. Dan Campbell thinks he can come back. But I am not worried about, I mean, how you going to re-aggravate a bone break? That's not a thing. You break your bone, it heals, you move on. I've broken my femur twice. It sucks. I've not broken my femur a third time. You know, this is not a joint, a ligament, anything like that. Kevin says, yes, only if medically cleared. Well, you know what, Kevin? There's no other way he's going to come back. There's no other way. If he's medically cleared, this isn't, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, this isn't Any Given Sunday, man. He's not, Lions ain't going to play with their future like this. We know our team, right? We know he's not going to play if he's not ready. I would love to see Hutch back, but I am not expecting it. He said he just started walking on it. There's a long way to go from now, starting to walk to playing in the NFL. I could agree. That is a good statement. If he is medically cleared, that would be something. And you know what? Just maybe Hutch is, just think about this. Hutchinson gets hurt. The whole team comes together, galvanizes, right? We haven't lost a game. We have not lost a game since the middle of September. I think we were already on a 3-game winning streak by the time that happened. And this team was no doubt galvanized by his injury. So if he could come back, but you know what? If he can't come back, maybe being on the sideline would be enough. Maybe it would be enough. You know what I'm saying? Where we see him every time that you're at Ford Field, he's there. He's up in the suite and they pan the camera to him every time. And the crowd goes insane. And I think that his team feeds off that. The city feeds off that. So we shall see. But let me know your thoughts. Do you want him to return? I say yes, if he can. If he can, if they say he can return, then he can return. I don't think it's going to ruin anything for next year, but if he can't, we won't see him. And it is what it is. Do you think he'll be the same beast coming back for the NFC Championship? Once, I do not. But I don't know. If we had like a training montage, you know what I'm saying? Like if we got to see him, okay, you know what? Here's some behind the scenes of Hutch working, rehabbing. I think we'd be like, okay, this guy is, we see little glimpses, him walking and stuff like that. If he starts lightly jogging by next week, he will be back. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I got a friend who destroyed his ankle. He was running across the street and I guess a car was coming at him and he had to speed up, meaning he had to speed up to get across the street. He stepped wrong and just destroyed his ankle. And he was in the hospital for a few days, was discharged. Now, of course, he's not playing football, but, if Hutch was a regular person, I think he would be living a regular life. He'd be walking around, maybe able to drive, stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. We shall see. Anyway, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. We have been on for an hour and a half. Wow, man, that is crazy, bro. These shows starting to go an hour and a half, man. That's decent because we're only on 3 days a week. So, bro, really, I knocked my tissue roll off the table, man, and it unraveled. So we will be back on Wednesday. Let me see. Dan Campbell is in front of the media. I would have actually got on earlier, but when I saw that he was going live at 2:45, I was like, I'll just wait until he goes live. So we'll be back on then. I don't think there's anything I got to update you on per se. Yeah, I think the giveaway will happen sometime between now and the Lions playing on Sunday. The $26,000, which is for. Hold on, let me see. Let me go to B camera. This bobblehead here. I also have a Calvin Johnson that I'm going to give away. I think I'm going to wait, though, on this one here. I got one of those. I have the Aiden Hutchinson bobblehead. You know what's crazy is the bobbleheads for FOCO, man. They are sold out. They're sold out of all of it. So I'm glad I was able to get And Gibbs is covered up. We can't have that. I was able to get my hands on one. So this is the one that's going to be given away next. So be ready for that on Lion Syndicate. Make sure you subscribe. I also want to say this too. And we'll wrap up the show. Let me cue everything up. If you hear any YouTuber tell you that all you have to do is like and subscribe to be entered into a giveaway, they are lying. They're lying. So I just want to, I saw that today, and that's always irritated me. That is a false statement. That is not true. They cannot tell if everyone is subscribed. So that's a way to get you to subscribe. If they say, you also cannot tell if a person has liked a video. You cannot. I don't know who likes. I don't know who in the comment section has liked this video. No idea. So if any YouTuber tells you like and subscribe to be entered into a giveaway, that is a lie. That is a lie. If you know that your subscriptions are private, they will not be able to tell. YouTube has no idea that you are a subscriber. No idea. The creator, YouTube does. The creator doesn't. So just know that. That is a lie. Okay? I just want to put that out there, man, because I hate to see it. I hate to see it. Anyway, I will see you guys on Wednesday back here. Make sure y'all support. You know what I feel like now? Rich Eisen. I noticed that Rich Eisen, he has a show. His wife has a show called What the Football, and it's on Tuesday. I watch it occasionally for like a snippet or two. Now, if I was rich, I would start its own YouTube channel and let Susie, which is his wife, run it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't do well on his channel because people don't care about their show like it does his, right? So what I'm asking you guys to do, so I feel like him because he on Monday always plugs his wife's show, right? So I'm gonna plug Nick. Make sure y'all support Nick tomorrow, man. 5 o'clock, Touchdown Detroit Lions happens every Tuesday. He took a little break, had some things he needed to do with school. Now he's back every Tuesday. If you want more Lions content, make sure you guys check him out. And also check out Motor City Cats, the formerly known as Chef Lions. He has a new channel now called Motor City Cats. He goes live. I want to say it's almost every day. So make sure you guys check him out as well. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. We got big things planned for this brand and this channel. Thank you guys so much. I will see you on Wednesday. We going to the Super Bowl, y'all. I'm just saying.
Hello, good morning. Horns is blowing, and I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether home grown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets, cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time, when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.